There comes a moment in life, not with fireworks, not with fanfare, but with silence. A moment when something inside you finally whispers, enough. Enough pretending. Enough pleasing. Enough postponing your truth. And that moment, when you stop running, stop hiding, stop betraying yourself for others, that moment is the beginning of your return. Carl Jung called this process individuation, becoming who you truly are. And make no mistake, the day you choose yourself is the day the universe begins to respond in alignment. This is not about ego, this is about wholeness. It's about reclaiming the parts of you you were taught to silence. It's about choosing peace over perfection, purpose over performance, self over sacrifice. Most people never truly meet themselves. They meet versions shaped by trauma, by expectation, by survival. They become reflections of who the world wanted them to be, but not who they really are. We get lost trying to be loved. We shrink ourselves to be accepted. We wear masks to survive in rooms we were never meant to stay in. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This video is your mirror, your invitation to remember. Because once you choose yourself, truly, unapologetically, life begins to mirror that choice. You stop chasing people who don't see you. You stop compromising your soul for comfort. You stop searching for home in places that only offer shelter. Chapter 1. The False Self. From a young age we are taught how to belong, but not how to be ourselves. You were told, be nice. Don't cry. Fit in. You learn to trade authenticity for safety. That's where the false self is born. The part of you that smiles when it wants to scream, that agrees when it disagrees, that stays silent to avoid conflict. But every time you betray your truth, a small part of you dies. You wake up one day and don't recognize yourself, success maybe, but no joy. A full calendar, but an empty soul. Choosing yourself means calling this out. Tearing off the mask, not out of rebellion, but out of reverence. Chapter 2. Signs you're not choosing yourself. So how do you know if you're living from your false self? You feel exhausted all the time, not just physically, but emotionally. You're constantly seeking validation from others. You struggle to make decisions without approval. You say yes when everything in you screams no. You fear being alone, not because you love people, but because you don't trust yourself. These are not flaws. These are signals. Your soul is trying to wake you up. It's whispering, come back. Chapter 3. The courage to go within. Jung taught that the real gold is found in the shadow. The parts of ourselves we reject, hide, or deny. Choosing yourself requires radical honesty. It's not a feel-good Instagram quote. It's messy, it's raw, it's terrifying. But it is the only path to freedom. You have to face your pain. You have to unlearn the lies you believed about your worth. You have to grieve the version of you that kept you alive, but kept you small. Healing isn't pretty, but pretending is killing you more. Chapter 4. What it means to choose yourself. To choose yourself means you honor your feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. You make space for your dreams, even if no one else understands them. You stop explaining your boundaries. You stop apologizing for evolving. It doesn't mean you reject others, it means you stop rejecting yourself. You start to make decisions from peace, not pressure. You no longer negotiate your identity to earn belonging. Chapter 5. When everything aligns, something strange happens when you become who you really are. You attract peace. You meet people who speak your soul's language. Opportunities appear, not because you chase them, but because you resonate with them. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that confirm you're aligned. It's not magic, it's resonance. When your inner world shifts, your outer world follows. Chapter 6. Self-trust and inner authority. The greatest gift you'll ever give yourself is trust. Trust in your voice, in your choices, in your journey. We've been taught to outsource authority, to gurus, to experts, to the crowd. But real power is quiet. It doesn't scream. It knows. Choosing yourself means trusting that inner knowing, even when it makes no sense to anyone else. Chapter 7. Living in alignment. When you choose yourself, life simplifies. You no longer need to be everywhere, do everything, impress everyone. You find peace in solitude. You speak from integrity. You walk away from what doesn't feel right, without guilt. You create a life that isn't perfect, but it's real. A life that feels like home. So now I ask you, what is one way you can choose yourself today? Share it in the comments. Let this be your declaration, your moment, your mirror. And if this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone else who's ready to wake up. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply remembering. And that remembering is everything. The world doesn't benefit from your self-abandonment. It benefits from your wholeness, your authenticity, your light. Subscribe for more content like this, because your journey has just begun. And never forget, the day you choose yourself is the day everything begins to align.